My name is Claire, and I want to tell you a story that will never see the light of day. It's a story that I guard like the most precious yet shameful secret, a story that I wish I could erase, yet it remains etched in my mind like an indelible scar. When I gave birth to our daughter, Amelia, life changed drastically. Everything revolved around her, and I couldn't deny the profound joy she brought into our lives. But the transformation from woman to mother was not seamless for me. The attention shifted entirely from me to the baby, and though I adored Amelia, I felt invisible, like a specter haunting my own home. My husband, Henry, was attentive in his own way. He doted on Amelia and worked tirelessly to provide for us, yet there was a void in my heart that remained unspoken. My body had changed. My priorities shifted, and my mind grappled with the weight of being a new mother. No one seemed to notice my struggles. I often found myself on the brink of tears, yearning for someone to ask me how I was coping with everything that had changed. Henry's back had been giving him trouble, and he began seeing a physiotherapist, David, who came to our home for sessions. David was a man in his late 30s, with a calm demeanor and a gentle touch that seemed to ease Henry's pain. As I watched him work on my husband, I noticed his gaze lingering on me. It wasn't lustful or aggressive, but rather filled with understanding. David was attentive to both of us. His sessions with Henry were often accompanied by small talk with me, and his questions about my well-being went beyond the usual polite inquiries. He asked me about my sleepless nights and listened intently as I spoke of the challenges I faced as a new mother. There was an understanding in his eyes that made me feel seen for the first time in months. As days turned to weeks, my interactions with David grew. We found ourselves drawn to one another, sharing more of our thoughts and emotions. His touch, so soft yet confident as he adjusted Henry's back, lingered in my mind long after he left. We laughed together over small things, exchanged knowing glances, and there was an undeniable tension in the air when we were alone. It was one such evening when Henry was lying down after a session and David stayed a bit longer to talk. We found ourselves sitting in the living room, discussing everything from our past to our dreams for the future. The conversation flowed effortlessly, and I felt a connection that I hadn't experienced in a long time. That was the beginning of our affair. It was unexpected, and it terrified me, yet I couldn't resist the way he made me feel. David understood my pain, my frustrations, and my desires in a way that no one else did. He was a beacon of light in a sea of darkness, and as our conversations deepened, so did our bond. Our encounters were intense and passionate, yet always tinged with the fear of being caught. We had to be careful, ensuring our meetings didn't coincide with Henry's presence. There were close calls, moments when Henry almost stumbled upon us in the act, and my heart raced with the terror of being exposed. Once, as David and I embraced in a hidden corner of the house, we heard Henry's footsteps approaching. We separated just in time, and I rushed to the kitchen, pretending to busy myself with chores. David left hurriedly, and Henry never suspected a thing. The tension in those moments was unbearable. Our affair lasted 8 months. David would come over for Henry's sessions, and after he finished, he would sometimes find me alone in the kitchen or in the backyard. We never planned our encounters, but they happened naturally, as if the universe conspired to give us those moments of escape. During that time, I often looked at Henry with a mixture of love and guilt. He was a good man, a hard-working husband, and a doting father. He took care of Amelia with so much tenderness and devotion. How could I betray him? Yet, I couldn't help myself. The connection I shared with David was unlike anything I had ever experienced. Henry's back eventually improved, and David stopped coming to the house. I was relieved, yet heartbroken. David respected my decision not to continue seeing him outside of the home. He understood my situation and never pushed for more. The end of our affair left me feeling hollow, yet I knew it was for the best. Life went on, and I poured myself into caring for Amelia and supporting Henry. The memory of David lingered, a bittersweet reminder of a time when I felt seen and understood. There were moments when I would watch Henry play with Amelia, his laughter filling the room, and the guilt would wash over me in waves. I knew I had made a mistake, one that would haunt me for the rest of my life, but I couldn't change what had happened, and I couldn't bring myself to confess. The pain it would cause Henry and the upheaval it would bring to our lives was too great a price to pay. Over time, the pain of the affair dulled, becoming a distant echo in my mind. I buried it deep within me, carrying the weight of my secret alone. I focused on my family, on the joys and challenges of raising Amelia, and on being the wife Henry deserved. I often wonder what happened to David. Did he move on with his life? Did he think about me as I thought about him? Perhaps he did, but I will never know. Our paths diverged, and I must live with the choices I made. This secret, my dirty secret, is one I will take to my grave. It is a chapter of my life that I can never truly close, a shadow that will forever linger in my heart. But for now, I live with the knowledge that once I crossed a line I never thought I would, and it changed me forever.